Hi, welcome to Life Skills with Louie. I'm Louie, and today we're talking about avoiding mood-altering substances. If you haven't watched the introduction to Responding to Gaps in Resilience, the intro to this whole section, I encourage you to do that. And also, there are two introductions to this entire section, Getting to Great. One is about mapping your experience, and then the second is about responding to your experience. And that back and forth of awareness and response is the essence of this whole section and the key or a key to self-care. Finally, if you haven't watched the introduction to the entire video series, I encourage you to do that so you understand all 5 sections and when and where to use them and how they all fit together. That's especially helpful if you're new to this or are feeling a little lost. So, to talk about avoiding mood-altering substances. This is an interesting topic, a critical skill. And I remind people this in the introduction, but I'll do another reminder. If you're having difficulty with this one, certainly looking at the Connecting to Clear section will be very helpful, because that's where a lot of skills are to help with separation from these old attachments and patterns with substances that generally feel good in the moment, short term, but long term affect your resilience in a negative way. So, avoiding mood altering substances. We have the more obvious and then the less obvious. More obviously, there are certain substances that have a large effect on your mood. Things like alcohol, harder drugs, cocaine, opiates. These types of substances, when you use them, they dramatically shift your mood. And then there's usually shifts back and you find yourself on a bit of a roller coaster. And some people like roller coasters sometimes, but in the end, with our life, having less of them is helpful for a sense of peace. Short term, these are reinforcing. So there's reasons why people use them. And again, Connecting to Clear can help you to understand use of them more. Ultimately, though, for a sense of peace, extinguishing the use of them is the most effective, and moving in that direction is great. Or reducing harm, if you can't and don't want to stop something fully yet, but reducing the harm it does, reducing the amount is another great strategy. So there's the more obvious substances that cause major shifts in mood. However, there are a lot of things that cause shifts in our mood, and some things that could be healthy someone could use in a more mood-altering way that becomes problematic. So it's a little complex. We've talked about the more obvious ones. Now the kind of middle ones that are middle obvious. Let's talk about the phone, television. These are not substances per se, but they are processes that have a huge effect on the brain and neurochemistry and really shift the mood. And we can get locked into patterns with these. And as far as the phone goes, and as far as I can see in the general population, most people are locked in patterns with these where they are regularly altering their mood using them. And decreasing that, eventually avoiding it, can really help your sense of peace and clarity, as in the section Connecting to Clear. Because when your mood is constantly changing this way and that way, it's very hard to have a sense of clarity. Then that's kind of the moderate ones that are moderately obvious. The less obvious type of activities are even things like exercise. Someone can have a part of them that's kind of a bit of a drill sergeant on exercise and sort of making them do it in a way that is pushing their mood, maybe a little too forcefully. It's all about the level of force with these like more subtle mood alterations. And we're looking again for balanced, intuitive use of food or balanced, intuitive use of exercise. And you may find yourself needing to pull back a little bit and find that sense of balance and reconnect with your intuition around it. So this is a critical, but can be a complex area, which is why there's a literal whole section called Connecting to Clear about it. And I encourage you, if you're a little confused about this or struggling, to check out that section and receive help from professionals who can help you with it as well. Thank you.